Berto Will is your host. Thank you so kindly for being a part of the show. We are going to have a great show for you today. And because it's going to be your show. And I hope that you will call in with your opinions because I want to hear your voices. 281-823-7747. Again, it's 281 823-7747. What's on deck for today? Well, I have it written up at Daily Coast what I'm talking about today. Should Biden call it in? What's next? Democrat Spotlight Project 2025. So, what are your thoughts, folks? What are your thoughts? Start queuing it up. I hope somebody will give me a call on 281-823-7747. Again, that number is 281-823-7747. Anyway, let's get started. E2247 is in the house from all over. He never tells me specifically what city and state he's in, but love him anyway. Lee Grant is in the house from Montgomery County. Welcome, Lee. How are you doing? Eric Hayes is in the house from Kingwood, Atascocita. And won't you know, I had an hour of coffee with brother Eric to discuss a few things today at Starbucks. It was a fine conversation, Eric. And I just want to tell all my people in here, the Eric that you see in the chat is definitely not the Eric in person. Eric is actually a nice guy. Sometimes I want to slap him around, but he knows I love him. All right, Bridge MCP is in the house from Binghamton, New York. We also have Stuyven Bergenkamp from, I think it is Portland, Oregon. Correct me if I'm wrong. We also have in the house Yvette Avery Herod from Atlanta, Georgia. And we have Paul Fleming from Powder Spring, Georgia. See, I got it right again. Powder Spring, Georgia. Let's see who else we have in the house. AVQ, can't forget AVQ. It's always running. AVQ is always that first one on Twitch. And he calls in, and he's from Brooklyn, New York. Anyway, folks, I'm having a great time going through all these chats. Maywood is in the house from Long Beach, California. We also have in the house. I'm still scrolling down. E2247, are you ever going to tell me a city and a state, my brother? You know I go ahead and I tell your stuff every day now. Powder Spring, did I get it right? Okay, yeah, I think I got it right. Melanie Keelan from Barcelona, Spain. So all our suspects are already in the house. Welcome, guys. Thank you for being here. Anyhow, did I mention Bridge MCP already? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay, let's go ahead and start talking, folks. Let me go into my narrative first, okay? I should call it more of a soliloquy. And I'm going to start with being in Las Vegas, Nevada. Back in 2020, a friend of mine called me up and said, Egberto, we are going canvassing in Las Vegas and all the surrounding Latino areas. We are going there and we need you. That was one of our Revolution partners called me up. And I said, if I am needed to go ahead and bring some Latinos into the fold for Bernie Sanders, that I would. And Bernie Sanders had started doing very well in the election. So we went to Las Vegas and some outskirt communities, and we started canvassing, and we started going to all the Latino stores and talking to people, making sure they were registered to vote. And if they were registered to vote, we're telling them exactly where they needed to go. We had everything computerized to tell them exactly where they needed to go vote and when they needed to go vote. So we were there. And on that last day that we were there, where the final tally was taken, we all went to a bar in Las Vegas, and all the our revolution folks sat down at that bar, and we watched as that landslide came in for Bernie Sanders. And we were like extraordinarily excited. And in fact, I got interviewed by a couple of TV stations, and I have the clip of the interview that I did somewhere on my site. Just look up Egberto Willis and Las Vegas, and you'll find a clip where a station there interviewed me about the race, about the Bernie Sanders race. So we flew back to Houston, and we are excited. We are pumped up. And the reason we are pumped up is that finally we were going to get a real progressive elected in America. Bernie Sanders had crossed the Rubicon. He was going to do it because, you know what? He won Nevada with all those people in the race. Remember, it was a lot of folks in a landslide. And lo and behold, that week, I think the week after, we were going to have the race in South Carolina. And Bernie was set to do well in South Carolina as a part of all these other folks as well. And what the congressman from, first of all, what the Democratic Party did then is they just about forced every single candidate from Buttigieg to Kamala Harris, all of them. They had to drop out of the race, and they all coalesced around Biden. And then Clyburn in South Carolina decided to say, okay, we are all, my wife, my sick wife or dead wife, I don't remember which it was. You know, she looked into Joe Biden's eyes and said, this is the one. I'm paraphrasing, of course. I'm paraphrasing. And Joe Biden was selected, and it was downhill for my guy, Bernie Sanders then. Suffice it to say, all of us Berniacs were extraordinarily upset because we looked at it as the Democratic Party, you know, doing a rope-a-dope and killing the Bernie Sanders chances before everything was able to materialize, etc. They coalesced, and they didn't allow the stuff to ferment. Bernie kept on doing fairly well, but he never really won many other primaries after that. He won a few, but not many after that. And there was this nasty feeling in our mouth about what was going on. But you know what we did? Many of us that were Berniacs, we said, you know, we know what was best for the ticket. We knew what was best for the ticket, so we went ahead and coalesced after the primary was over. We went ahead and we didn't have any objections to Biden. After all, he won the most delegates, etc. When we went to Philadelphia, I went to Philadelphia as a Bernie delegate. No, I went to Philadelphia as a Bernie delegate in 16. I didn't go to Philadelphia. The 2020 wasn't in Philadelphia. Forgot where it was. I forgot where that 2020 thing was. But anyway, what happened then is that we all coalesced and decided we are going to support Joe Biden. But we had a sticky, nasty feeling in our mouth because we knew Joe Biden was no progressive. We knew Joe Biden was a straight out neoliberal guy. Okay? We knew he was a neoliberal guy. But again, he was better than the alternative. And we all supported Biden, and we fought for Biden, and I blogged for Biden on Daily Kos, on Op-Ed News, on everywhere that I wrote, and many of us, other people wrote. We supported the ticket, and we supported Biden. We did what was right. We didn't do what was we didn't take our personal grievances. We went ahead and did the right thing by the party. Why? Because it was the only party where we knew we would get some progressive value out of it. Now, I've got to be very, very honest. Biden, in as much as he's a neoliberal, in as much as he's not really a progressive, he passed more progressive policies than any other president in my lifetime. Joe Biden did. Of course, Joe Biden got pushed by AOC. He got pushed by Ro Khanna. He got pushed by Pramila Jayapal, Ilhan Omar, and all of these others to get their support on all these major bills that Biden wanted to get passed. He needed to have a real, for once, coalition that included progressive values, that included the things that progressive wanted, and progressives held strong. And you know what? By holding strong and Biden realizing that his agenda was cooked unless he made the necessary compromises with progressives, and he did. And not only did he do it, but he did it with gusto. After all, his working class upbringing seemed to have gotten away from that Delaware corporate. You know, there are more corporations in Delaware than anywhere else. That's who they are. But Biden came home. Biden came home. The people that failed us were the guy from West Virginia and Arizona, meaning Sinema, and his name doesn't come to me right away. So he did a great job. So I have a very, very good feeling for Brother Biden. Brother Biden did not let us down in the progressive field. And I think I was forced to accept something, and that is that there's a good chance that even if Bernie Sanders had won the election, because I tell you what, if Bernie Sanders had won the Democratic primary, given that the alternative was Joe was people wanted a change, and the fact that they showed that they could have gone to a change for a pervert, a thief, a womanizer, a rapist, a thug, a traitor, they were willing to support a guy like that. You know that when Bernie Sanders made his case, that they would as well support a Bernie Sanders. But you know what? That was water under the bridge. We got Biden, and the truth is, Biden did not let progressives down. One of the important pieces of politics is, even as progressives want the world, here is the deal. Progressives understand that compromise has to be made at times, and they did. And for that, we got a lot. Yeah, Sinema messed things up. And what's a senator from West Virginia? He also messed it up for us and the poor people, but that's water under the bridge. Biden was a good guy. But here's the thing, people. I have been looking at Biden with a new eye, with respect. Manchin, thank you very much for that, Radnin. I've been looking at Biden, and I think it's malpractice what Biden's people are doing to Biden. I don't think it is Biden. Biden, I think, I honestly think Biden thinks he has to do what he is doing. He has to stay in. There are people there that is telling him, no, don't listen to those elitists. You've got to stay in, Biden. You've got to. Because remember, when Biden held the position in 2020, he said he was just a caretaker because to beat Donald Trump. But after that, he would move on. He didn't. And I think we have to look at his family, and I think we have to look at those closest to him, his campaign manager, etc., almost not wanting to lose a job or have changes. And they are willing to put the country at peril because of their own personal doing. I honestly think Biden looks tired. I think Biden is ready to go. I think Biden, if anybody who listens to Kamala Harris today defend the Biden project, the Biden works, the Biden policies, she did a great job today, and she contrasted it perfectly with all the lies that the right is talking about, and it was beautiful. And then you contrast that with the tonality and how Biden has been attempting to defend his own record that has been great. And you see a problem. You see a problem. And you see no excitement. And also you see nothing there that's going to excite not only a base, but a people that can say there's energy there to actually get things accomplished. Yes, he accomplished a lot. But now the guy's 81 years old, and he's not the 81-year-old guy that has the stamina of Bernie Sanders or that has the stamina of Anthony Fauci, and all these others. These are guys that are older than Biden, and they are much more flexible, active, mentally fast in coming back when you hit them around. And if we want to be very honest with ourselves, and you listen to Biden in all the many interviews that he has done this week, you have to say it would be difficult, and if we want to be honest with ourselves, if we want to be honest with what we're seeing, then we probably should have a change at the top, not to take away absolutely anything from Biden, because Biden, like I said, fulfilled much more than any other president has done in my lifetime. In my lifetime. Now, let me answer old reprobate about change is difficult and change is scary. But what is more scary to me is where I see Biden's mind is, how Biden responds in real time. And anybody who chooses not to see that is putting our country at risk. And I say that as respectfully as I can, because it will be exploited and it will be easily exploited. Biden just came down with COVID. We trust that he will get better, and we trust that he'll get better fast. But every time he gets a serious disease going forward on an old body, that is going to be something that brings him down even further. I want you all to see take a look at how he went up the stairs on the airplane, not just since he's had COVID, but before. Again, like I said, our eyes are not deceiving us. And just like we have eyes, everybody that is possibly going to vote for Biden also has eyes. You can love the guy, which I do. The guy has performed, but we have to understand reality. We have to understand reality. And unless we do, we run the risk. E2247 says Michael Moore's recent visit with Mehdi surfaced many thoughts similar to your own. I'll take a look at that E2247. I honestly think it's malpractice what they're doing with Biden. It's almost like they're Biden, uh, pushing Biden beyond his physical and mental capabilities right now. You want something for the screen? I'll go ahead and put it on the screen. Bridge MCP. Let me go ahead and let's go ahead and put that on the screen for our beautiful Bridge MCP. And here we go right this minute. There it is, Bridge. There it is. And it says, I don't think of age in respect of years. I know people in their 70s who are vigorous and useful, and people who are 35 who are in lousy physical shape and can't think straight. Age doesn't have much to do with it. And I agree 100%. And I ask everybody to compare any one of Biden's interview this week and any one of Fauci's interview this week and any one of Bernie's interviews this week. Bernie is older than Biden, and Fauci is older than Biden. I want you guys to see how they respond. Whoa, you dump it on Biden. You happen to discourage people that are on the fence for voting Democratic instead of highlighting the criminal that's one of the president. No, 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 no. It's not. I am not. I don't. I did not once. I did not once dump on Biden. I'm just looking at reality here. And it's important that we open our eyes. I want to win just as much as you want to win. Everybody that's in here. I want to win just as much as anybody else want to win. But we cannot lie to ourselves. We cannot look at the possibility of what will happen in September, in October. Paul Fleming says, I know you love Bernie, but you're in love with a guy that wants socialism, and this country is not ready for it. That's why it's switched to Biden. We can keep talking about the past or right now, the future, more than the past down. We'll find out who's going to be picked. Is more important to me is to talk about the criminal and the guy sacrificed next. Yeah, but you have somebody to run against, Paul. And it's and again, anybody who says, "Oh, Bernie socialism," and try to equate that with Cuba, Venezuela, etc., don't know what they're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. Anybody who listens to the policies I talk about are the same policies that Bernie talk about. That is the policies that most Americans say that they want. That we have been unable to articulate that it's a different story. Bridge says Biden may be tired, certainly looks old, but I would vote for a fork before anyone else. Hey, I think most of us in this chat would vote for Biden if he stays on the ticket. But you know what I also know? I know many who would not vote for Biden because of not his age, but because of his not performance on the debate stage, but his performance with the last interviews that he did. Not only the interviews that he did with Lester Holt, which I thought was pretty good. I thought Lester Holt was horrendous. But I think we ought to look at reality. And I think too many of us, for reasons of fear and otherwise, don't want to see the truth. And for those who are saying, why am I not talking about Donald Trump? There's going to be a lot of time to talk about Donald Trump. There's going to be a lot of time to talk about it. But there's also time that we have to decide between now and our convention what Democrats should do. And if Biden seems like he may fall out in October, he can't keep the schedule based on his behavior. The man can't keep the schedule that's going to be necessary to win this election. Now, if you saw Kamala Harris today on the kind of pushback that we need, you'll probably have to agree. So, folks, this is not a negative on Bernie on Biden at all. Let's say reality is this man wants to stay in the race. He'll make the decision to stay or not. We can talk about it to our first turns blue. He's not going anywhere until he's size two, and then he's that or he's that. There, look, no. Let me be frank here. Let's get honest here. That's not a true fact, my brother Fleming. Uh, Biden can want to be in the race, and you can say that Biden. Everybody can on the outside. This is how people think politics works. They think that Biden can say, "Well, look, I'm not going nowhere. I'm just staying." I'm sorry. It's all a compromise, and if there are a sufficient gravity that says no, I don't care if he wants to stay. He's not staying, but that's not what we want. We don't want that position. We want people to be honest, including the candidate himself, to not think about self, but think about country first. Country first. Country first. That's what we have to do. Country first. And if for once you actually think that if you honestly think in the depths of your heart that this guy can keep up five stops a day, 7 days a week, and campaign where you're already from behind, I've got a bridge to sell you. I think we better get honest with ourselves. I think we better get honest. JD Vance refuses to debate Harris. Big baby. Of course he does. It's not a compromise when the people has voted the only way they could possibly throw them out. If they get to the convention and they don't certify him as the president's running for United States, that's just a fact. They've already explained how he can be thrown out. So until that happens, I think we're just wasting our breath. We'll be more focused on trying to get people to vote for the Democrats. They again, Paul, I am talking to all sides of the Democratic Party. The truth of the matter is, it's not there. You can love the guy. It's not there. The support in the Democratic Party, and I'm not talking about the elite of the party. I'm talking about the rank and file. It's not there. I mean, that's just the reality. Those of us that are boomers or those of us that are Gen X's, we can love the guy out as much as we want. The support is not there. That's just the reality. And we can hope and we can kick and scream. It's just not there. And I wish we all have to come together. This is so messed up. Democrats are committing electoral suicide. Even if Biden stays now, you have spent weeks talking him down. Come on, look, Steigen, it's not about talking him down at all. It really isn't about talking him down. It's about people having eyes. There's a big difference. People have eyes. I have eyes. I watched him go up the stairs, not just yesterday. Yesterday, he had to pause in the middle. Yes, he's got COVID. But the times before, that's all I do. I wish I could train my camera. I have 3 different stations going at the same time. I listen to what Fox News have to say. I listen to what ABC. I listen to all of them. It's not there. And it's not messed up, Steigen. Let me tell you. We have, if we make a change now, the excitement that's going to hit, is going to be astounding. Mark my word. Bree says, sorry, I'll think it's mostly men thinking this way. My group of over 37K, mostly all the guys think he should leave their own vitality, aging. I don't know. I can't say that. Uh, you know, that's not what I'm looking at all. Okay, I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at what's possible, Bridge. I really am looking at it from an objective point of view. Paul Fleming says, "Do you see that he was trying to do everything he could? Do you not see that he was out there doing what's necessary? He got COVID. COVID is still here and not going anywhere. But again, I know it's not there. He has to make the decision again. The process has already been explained, and you know the process. So why are we still talking about it? You know why we're still talking about it, Paul? I personally, let me tell you why I'm talking about it. I don't want folks to just feel that those of us who are, how should I put it? I want it to be known the respect that we have for for Joe Biden. I want it to be known the appreciation that we have for Joe Biden, and I want to also let it be known to many who don't know that Joe Biden has been for progressives the best president we've had in my lifetime. I was about to say decades, but I mean in my lifetime. And I wanted to express that. I not only expressed that, but I wanted people to feel not like we're dumping Biden, but that a lot of times you are the last one. Let me. This doesn't have much to do with it, right? But when you start putting on too much weight or whatever, and your pants start to get tight and that kind of stuff, and deep inside you know you're getting too big for your britches or whatever, and you keep asking people, "Hey, you think I'm fat? You think I'm fat?" And folks, nah, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay, right? But deep inside, you know that you have to make a change. Actually, that's what I'm doing right now. I've been on a diet now for going on a month and a half, lost about 12 pounds or a bit more. So, okay, so let's see. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. I agree. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can taught to love. I agree 100%. Oh, that was from Nelson Mandela. Great. I remember the wave of emotion. I remember the wave of emotion I felt standing in Nelson Mandela's prison cell, trying to imagine how he kept his spirit and grace through 27 years of incarceration. His hope for a better future and forgiving nature will always inspire me to do better and be better. 100, whoops, I got to do it here. 100% with you, Paul Fleming. 100% with you. All right, British MCP. Again, Obama has spoken with Biden only once since the debate, and he has been clear in his conversation with others that the future of Biden's candidacy is a decision for the president to make. Don't believe all the news. Yeah, that is what Obama said. Obama said that. He also did tell quite a few other people that he thinks that he has told others, reputable sources, that he doesn't think the pathway is there for Biden. That's just his opinion, of course. We don't know that. That's an opinion. It's my opinion as well. I don't know that that means anything, but it's my opinion as well. So that's where I am at in this entire thing. Anyway, let's talk Project 2025. Is that what we want to do? I would look. Does anybody want to call? Hey, Paul. Paul, if you want to call in and say your piece, this is an open forum. And the number is 281-823-7747. And, if you may want to voice your opinion, and anybody who wants to voice an opinion, give us a call at 281-823-7747. I would love to hear the opinion. And thank you, E2247, for your words. I think you understand that I am coming from a position of love for the brother, meaning Biden, and not any animosity whatsoever. The reason I told the story, the Bernie Sanders story up front, is I wanted to show that Biden was not my candidate, but I supported after the whole cycle was over and things needed to come to a head. I went full fledged into supporting Biden and Harris, And again, it is just changes. It's country over person. Country over person. Paul Fleming says, just in, investigators working to determine a motive behind the attempted assassination of former President Trump have found on the suspect's phone internet searches for Trump, President Biden, sources familiar with the Yeah, I saw that. It seems like he wanted to get at the establishment. So whether he wanted to find out where Biden was going to be, where Trump is going to be, seeming to put it that he was going to go after just about everybody. You wonder about the guy, right? Biden wasn't my candidate in 2020, but Biden showed himself to be a progressive ally. Biden had my vote until the debate, where Biden showed me we can't have him for 4 more years. I hear you, Radnin. Now, if Biden stayed on the ticket or stays on the ticket, I will absolutely vote for Biden and every other Democrat. And this is what I'm suggesting that everybody do. Everybody must vote a full Democratic ticket to save this country. If you want to save this country from fascism, if you want to save this country from the existential threat that Donald Trump represents, everyone, it's not enough to just vote for the top of the ticket. You have to vote from the school board to your local races. Every vote this cycle must be a vote for the Democrat, irrespective of who the Democrat is. That's the only salvation we have for the country. And I say that without hesitation. All right, Paul says you can't trash them in and then tell a person to vote for the Democratic ticket. You're cutting. No, 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 no. I think, again, Paul, I ask you kindly. I ask you, there is no, what is the word that I am being very, very consistent here. I'm being very consistent here. 100% consistent. Michael says if Biden stays on the ticket, Democrats lose. 65% of Democrats say Biden needs to step down. We talked about this yesterday. Yeah. I mean, uh, again, I don't, for me, it's not about personalities. For me, it's about reality. For me, it's about reality. So anyway, give us a call, 281-823-7747. Anybody wants to call in? 281-823-7747. And that's the item that wanted to put on the screen. But folks, this is we're in some serious times, and I think we need to be serious about it and not sit back and what's the word that I want to use? This is not a time for wishful thinking. This is a time for reality and honesty. And until we get there, it's going to be an issue. And I think we need to get there like yesterday. I think we need to get there like yesterday. And again, we shouldn't be fighting about this. All of us are going to coalesce and get it right. We're all going to coalesce and get it right. Okay, second topic of the day is Democrat Spotlight Project 2025 plan to wield zombie law against abortion rights. Project 2025 includes a detailed blueprint for a future Republican president to impose a backdoor national abortion ban with a stroke of the pen, a pair of House Democrats warned. Two congressional Democrats who spearheaded the Stop Project 2025 task force warned Thursday that the abortion rights opponent are laying the groundwork to revive and wield a 151-year-old zombie law to ban abortion nationwide. In a letter to the U.S. President Joe Biden, who is under growing pressure to drop out of the 2024 race, Representative Jared Huffman, Democrat of California, and Jamie Raskin, Democrat of Maryland, noted that the Project 2025 agenda crafted by the Heritage Foundation and other right-wing groups includes a detailed blueprint for a future Republican president to impose a backdoor national abortion ban with a stroke of the pen by willfully misapplying this antiquated and unconstitutional statute. The statute in question is the Comstock Act, an 1873 law that prohibits the mailing of any instrument, substance, drug, medicine, or thing that may or can be used or applied for producing abortion. Representative Cory Bush, Democrat of Missouri, is leading the Democratic effort to define the law. According to the Health Policy Research Organization, the Kaiser Family Foundation, the Comstock Act has not been applied to the mailing of abortion materials in the last 50 years. A trio of legal experts recently described the law as the most significant national threat to reproductive rights. Hoffman and Raskin noted in the letter Thursday that the statute was used to prosecute free-thinking publisher Derabigne Mariner DM Bennett, who was sentenced to 13 months. All right, let's go to brother Paul Fleming. Paul Fleming, how you doing, Paul? Uh,
Oh, fine, sir. How are you?
I am doing fine, my brother.
Not really. It's not really a debate. I agree with everything that you're saying, but I want you to try to hear from my perspective. When you're
Please do.
trying to
That's
take
why.
on, get
Yes,
when you're trying to get new voters to vote, you can't add that type of weight onto the man that's already got our nomination, basically, and ask that person, oh, he's old, he's terrible, he's moving slow, but at the same time, I want you to vote for him. Until the process has changed, we need to be more like the Republicans. They're not talking about their criminal that's running for president. They're not talking about that fool that's going to be his vice president, because it's all over the news, and that's why the polls are going low. The news would rather talk about old Joe Biden versus a criminal, and that doesn't make any sense to me. That infuriates me.
and it should, and it should. Let me tell you. First of all, Paul, I want to push back a bit first, okay? And I want to push back to say that uh, I understand that MAGA, irrespective of what uh, Trump does, they're with Trump. They are puppets. And again, many of them simply don't have the mental fortitude to be independent. Unfortunately, we are not the people that are progressive, the people that even support Biden. That's not their chemical makeup. They are free thinkers. They are people that they're intellects. These are people that think things through, right? And in my case and your case, no matter who is on the ticket, we are voting definitely for the Democrat, even if it's Biden. Now, I want to come back now to something that you said that I don't know how to answer. And when you say that we can't be talking about him being old, and then at the same and it's the reason why we think he needs to maybe pass the torch. And but at the same time, we're saying if he doesn't pass the torch, go vote for him anyway. I see what you're saying. I honestly see what you're saying, but I think we have to also realize that everybody also has eyes and they can see where and I hope you see that I gave the president the kudos that he earned. I didn't even say the kudos he deserved, the kudos that he's earned as a progressive stalwart with the policies that he passed. But um, there's a bunch of people in this country that and it's enough of them in the right states that will be using his age and his mobility and his speech, the decline in his speech, as a reason not to vote for him. And I think we need to
Well, basically,
decide. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
it has the media has done a great job in destroying Joe Biden, and he's been our greatest president ever. You know, right there with Obama. He's a guy that's been for the people, for the people. Yeah, early in his career, he didn't make all the right decisions, but now as an old man, he's made all the right decisions because
I
he's
agree
been
with
serving the
you.
people for so.
I
But
agree
but
with
what I'm
you.
saying is, it's when you're trying to every election we're trying to bring in new voters, and I'm listening to the news talk about an old man versus not putting the pressure on the criminal. Putting more pressure on the old man than you putting on a criminal. And to
I
me, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. The man's a criminal, has always been a criminal. I just think that should be where all the focus is going to. Because
and you know
I'm going
what?
to explain to
I
you like this. I
no, wait,
have
wait.
an
Can I interrupt you
88
a
year
second?
old.
Let me interrupt you a second because I want to agree with you. 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 And you're right. I think, and please tell me if I am wrong here, but I think during my program, you see MAGA and conservatives in my chat, in our chat, I should say, not my chat, in our chat, constantly tell me that I'm suffering from the Trump derangement syndrome because I think if you go through all of my old tapes, you won't see me talking about Biden age. And in fact, when you had many of them talking about Biden falling down or whatever, I would always deflect that. I think if you look at my tape, you'd see that. But we are at a point now
Yeah, I
where,
mean, listen to you,
go ahead, I'm
listen to you.
sorry.
I mean to cut you off, but I listen to you every day, and I truly know that you love Joe Biden. I truly know that you'll vote for Joe Biden. But my point is, I'm looking I'm looking at the I'm looking at the view of being a young new voter trying to vote for someone. Do you not love your grandmother or grandfather? I have an 88-year-old mother-in-law. She
Hmm.
moves slower than Joe Biden.
Hmm.
Okay, and she loves to cook. She'll probably die in the kitchen because that woman loves to cook. And boy, can she
And I
cook!
bet she
She
cooks
cooks.
good too.
She tries. Yeah, she does. She reminds me of my grandmother. And I
Right.
tell my wife all the time, that's why because I knew we wouldn't go hungry because your mother's a great cook. That's what I tell my wife. And she gets me. I say, your mom is the reason why I married you, right?
Yeah.
But she's old, and it makes me nervous too. Trust me. Every time I'm around my mother-in-law, you have to think about the end coming because she moves so slow. And I don't
Right.
know how she can still prepare all those dishes for people that comes to her home after church a lot of times, or if
Hey,
it's somebody's birthday.
Paul, you just
But
said, you just gave the
but
answer there,
I
Paul.
would not.
Paul, you just gave the answer, Paul, and that is what people fear. If you could repeat that, you see what I'm talking about. You
We
spoke
have a vice
about your,
president though. We have a vice
I,
president.
yes, I know,
Unlike
I know.
unlike 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 staying on the Supreme Court until you die, which that's what Ruth Bader Ginsburg did. She stayed on until she died, which was wrong. She should have already had stepped down, knowing that she has
There
a
you
lot of health
go.
issues.
There
Okay,
you go.
he should
There
do the
you
same
go.
thing. He should do,
Brother,
but there's a certain amount of he should do the same thing, but it's a certain amount of what's the word I'm looking for? You know, yeah, stubbornness, for lack of a better word, that he's just still staying there. So I'm happy that Obama's talking to him. I'm happy that the leadership is talking to him. I'm happy that somebody outside of his bubble is showing him the numbers, saying, "Hey, this race shouldn't be this close. We really
hmm
should have someone else. We really should have a younger person because, like you said, everyone else is asking for a younger person.
and you know what?
So
You know, when I
he
talk
still
about
has to know.
Paul, I'm with you, Paul. When I talk about we should be running a landslide now, I mean, with Project
Yes,
2025, and how did you end the program yesterday, Paul? You end the program with a list of Project 2025 like 50 times. I mean, you just had Project
exactly.
2025. And I agree with you, right? So we have to go there. The
Yes,
path is there for a landslide. And you know who else knows it? Why they're trying to pull the okey doke? Brother Trump knows it too. And that's why he's trying to distance himself from it, but we won't let him.
right. But
But
what
we
I
have to,
wanted to hear from media, like hear from you, is okay. I know you probably have read some of Project 2025. You should be breaking it down on your show to these couple of people that are always here listening to
mhm.
sway them into being Democratic voters. It's
Let me
hard to
tell you,
persuade them to be Democratic when you
I
say, "Oh, we
think,
should we should change." Well, we know we should change. It's already out there. It's
right.
already out there that we should change. But right now, he's the guy. So my focus will be, okay, they put it out, Project 2020. Let's break
Hey,
it down
hold on.
so
Hey,
everyone
hey,
can hear it.
Paul, hold on a second. Let me see if I know how to do this. Hold on a second. I'm going to try to connect these calls. Okay, is this Alma Noel? Is Noel? Please turn the radio down. Noel, are you there?
Yes,
Okay, turn your
yes.
radio down so that you. Let me also break. Okay, I'm gonna connect these other two calls. Bear with me one second. Are you still here with me, Paul?
All right.
Yeah, I'm still here. You can go on.
Okay, great.
I'm just chatting
Okay,
with you.
no, you
Whatever
can.
you want to talk
No,
about.
hey, I'm practicing with. Hey, I'm practicing with our new phone system. So please stay on with me, Paul. Let's
Okay.
go to Noel.
All
Noel,
right.
come on in. Noel, come on in.
Yeah, so I just wanted to come in. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I just wanted to come in and, kind of give my 2 cents. I live in Boston, Massachusetts. My feeling about this election, like, yeah, I feel like Biden, is a really good president. He's like been a very great president. He's accomplished so much. But like right now, like how it looks like, it should be ahead in the polls, but actually it's trailing Trump in all
Yes.
these battleground states. So I kind of feel like, and like every time he comes like on stage or in public, he makes a blunder, or like people look at him as like kind of weak, like he doesn't even have like a strong voice. So and like they keep telling him like to kind of reconsider like his candidacy, which I think he should, because like the money is drying out right now. Like most of the people, like big donors and small donors too, like they were funding the campaign, kind of feel like he got no chance of winning, and nobody wanna like donate to his campaign anymore. So I
Okay,
kind of feel like the way you guys are saying,
mhm.
uh, uh,
Let me just answer that,
like when you,
Noel. Noel, let me answer that, okay?
yeah,
And the reason that
sure,
I haven't spoken much about this long time ago is because, again, not I couldn't do that. But here's the deal, right? The deal is let me say something to a brother, folks. Accents are one of the things that we are as progressives must understand is we should instead of saying my brother love you, but um it's okay if somebody's accent is difficult. When I came to the United States of America, my accent was very, very hard to understand. And I've changed as it gone. So I think we all need to be more, what's the word that I want to use? Uh, uh, Try figure it out. Because when we go to other countries, that's how we sound to them. Continue, Noel.
um, was somebody not understanding me because I got an accent?
Yeah, a good
So I
friend of
just
the show was complaining about your accent, but don't worry about it. I can understand what you're saying, and if I have to translate, I will. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. So, yeah, let me just, I'm saying like Joe Biden has been a good president. He's been a great president. He's accomplished a lot. But like right now, if like the money is drying up and like he's not motivating anybody, Democrats and independent, like he should step down. Like he should step down and kind of like not mess up with his legacy, because as it looks right now, like he's not
Oh,
gonna win the election.
I love
And
what you just said. Noel, I want to stop you there. I love what you just said, and I said that a few days ago. If his legacy is safe, but if he goes down in flames in an election, people are going to remember he did all these
yeah,
good things, but when it was time to pass the
yeah,
torch, he didn't, and that would be
hmm,
legacy compromise. I agree with that sentiment. Don't you agree with that, Paul?
yes, I agree with that totally. I
Yeah.
do, but
So
it takes a person to be a narcissist to run for president, and
yeah.
so once it's like winning the championship. Man, that euphoria is so great, and you got all that. energy, and you want that feeling again. The man should step
Right.
down, but he isn't,
Right.
and he yet. So that's why I say, understanding the situation, what I would like to hear more of is Project 2025 being taught,
And
not
we
only
look,
on your
brother.
show,
We
all the
every,
stations as well, because
let me tell you
that's
this.
what
We
we're
are
supposed to
gearing
do.
up. I am.
My mother-in-law is old and she's slow, but God knows when she dies, who's gonna cook like her? Who's gonna cook like Joe Biden? Yeah,
I
they
got you.
haven't
I
been
got
around
you.
long enough to do that type of thing.
I
So you have to
got
be
you. Now
careful what you
I
ask
gotta
for.
go. Hey, we're out of time. I gotta go. But here's the deal, Paul and Noel. Paul and Noel, I want to tell you guys straight up. We will be talking. In fact, I have to get up to speed better on Project 2025, and I will be studying Project 2025 so that I can have something sensible continuously to talk about it to make sure that everybody, including our right wing friends in the chat, understand that their only choice is to vote the Democratic ticket in November. So, look, thank you, Noel, and thank you, Paul, for calling. And thank you guys for both staying so that I could test this stuff out, okay?
Yeah, love you
All right.
always,
Thank
man.
you.
Love you
You're
all,
a great
man.
listener, and you're a great. All right,
Thank you
man.
so
Yeah.
Have a good
kindly,
Thank you
evening.
so
guys. Love
much.
you
I'm gonna
guys.
uh,
Okay, hang up,
all
guys.
right.
Anyway, thank you, Egberto. You have to really research the news now. Yes, I do. You're absolutely right, Vrij. But look, let me just speak to all our folks here. We are not on different pages. It's about method. And when you reach this point about method, what I think we all have to do is have be tolerant of everybody's because we all want to do the right thing and we don't always all know what the right thing is. I think what I'm doing is the right thing. Could I be wrong? Of course. Of course. Could you be wrong? Of course. So let's remember where everybody's heart really is. And let's go from that point of view. But anyway, look, the Project 2025 article by Common Dreams. Please go ahead and follow that, guys. I'll have the link. I'll have the link in the thing for all the people that came, Alpha Zero, and everybody else that came into the chat that I was unable to salute. I want to salute you right now, but I got to get out of here. Please support the program. How can you support the program? Please become a paid subscriber of our newsletter. How do you become a paid subscriber of our newsletter? Simply go to politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. It's just a coffee, guys. It's just a coffee. And if we get several hundred people giving us a coffee, we can continue to get better and better with this program, but we can only do it with your support. We have a lot of great supporters. You look at the chat room right now, and more than half of that chat room are supporters, paid supporters of Politics Done Right in some form or the other. But we need a lot more. If we could get a lot more, go to politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. Please become a paid subscriber. That'll allow us to do all the things that we need to do. Look, guys, I got to get out of here. My name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right. And you guys know how I end this, baby. I am what? Out. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans